What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another wrestling pay-per-view review. This time I'm going to be reviewing AEW Revolution. This pay-per-view altogether was pretty great. There was a bunch of matches I liked in this one. And then, there was only one that I really couldn't get into. The first match of the night was the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. With the Young Bucks versus the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, and MJF. This match was actually pretty good. I really liked it a lot. There was a lot of near falls. There was times in this match where I thought, Chris Jericho and MJF would actually pull it off and beat the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks actually kept the titles, which kind of caught me off guard because I kind of expected MJF and Chris Jericho to win this match, but it was a great match overall. The next match was the Casino Tag Team Royale for a future title shot against the tag team champions. The match was a great concept. I liked the multi-man matches. This, battle royal match. Really surprised me that they had 15 teams altogether, and the Dark Order had 3 of those 15 teams in this match. The match started off with the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall against Alan Angels and Preston Ten Vance from the Dark Order. And then the third entry was the Inner Circle with Santana Ortiz. And then the fourth one was the Seidel brothers, Matt and Mike. And then after that, there was another team from Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. And then after them, it was the Gun Club with Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn. Man, they look so much like their dad. It's not even funny. After the Gun Club, it was the Pretty Picture with Pretty Peter Avalon and Cesar Bonani. I probably just butchered that name. I just watched this pay-per-view, so I should probably know his last name, but whatever. And then after them, it was the Varsity Blondes with Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. And then the number 9 entrant into the match was Bear Country with Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson. That team actually is kind of growing on me. They're really tremendous. There was a spot with both of them that they took out 2 people at a time that I thought was pretty tremendous. And then after them came in Jurassic Express with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. After them, it was the Butcher and the Blade. Number 12 team was Private Party. And then number 13 was SCU with Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. After them, it was Death Triangle with Pac and Rey Fenix. And then the last team to enter the match was the last variation of the Dark Order with Alex Reynolds and John Silver. With this match, I was kind of going for the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. That's who I really wanted to win, but that ultimately didn't happen. Luchasaurus was pretty impressive in this match too. That guy is an absolute monster. Really impressive. And then the last 4 in this match was Pac, Rey Fenix, Jungle Boy, and John Silver. And I thought John Silver or, Jungle Boy would actually eliminate one of the Death Triangle members, but it ended up being Pac and Phoenix against Jungle Boy, and I thought they would go with the underdog story and have Jungle Boy eliminate both of them, which he did eliminate Pac, but Rey Fenix picks up the win for the Death Triangle, and they end up getting a shot at the titles against the Young Bucks sometime soon. And then after that match is the AEW Women's Championship match with Hikaru Shida and Ryo Mizunami. This is the first time I've actually seen Ryo Mizunami wrestle. I didn't know anything about her until this whole women's championship elimination tournament happened. It was a fairly decent match. It was pretty impressive. There was pretty good spots in there. Shida actually picks up the victory and finally gets her revenge on Ryu for what happened to her 10 years ago. They were saying that when Shida was actually starting in the business, she was in a tag team match against Ryu, and Ryu beat her and was making fun of her, this, that, and the other. And then after that, we have the match that I really couldn't get into. I mean, it had it has two of my favorite wrestlers in there, but it's the tag team match with Miro and Kip Sabian against the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. The match starts out in the back where Kip Sabian and Miro attack Cassidy and Chuck Taylor in the back, and then Miro throws Chuck Taylor through a glass window and a door, and they just run out to the ring. This match was the shortest match of the night, and pretty much kind of a throwaway match, if I'm being honest. Miro and Kip Sabian pick up the victory. There was a spot in this match where Miro threw Chuck Taylor into Penelope Ford, who was on the apron, and she just dove right into the barricade. I thought she actually hurt herself. Looks like she did. Kind of head first into the guardrail. I really hope this leads to, Miro actually splitting up with Kip Sabian. I really want him to be on his own, because that guy is just massive. He looks amazing. Dude is completely jacked. And I just want to see him actually flourish by himself. And then after that one, we have the big money match with Hangman Adam Page against Big Money Matt Hardy. I don't get the name, but whatever. This match was fairly decent. You got Hangman Page, which is one of the up-and-coming stars of the AEW, one of my favorites in the company right now. And then you got him going against one of the veterans of the ring, Matt Hardy. Adam Page ultimately gets the victory. I thought with, having Private Party come out there, I thought they would actually interfere more and Matt would actually win this match. But Dark Order comes out there to help Adam Page get the victory, to even the odds, basically. And Adam Page hits one of my favorite finishers, the Buckshot Lariat. It's so clean. It's really, really good. And then after that match, we have the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future shot at the AEW TNT Championship. This match, it had Scorpio Sky, Cody Rhodes, Penta El Sierra Miedo, golly, I can't talk today, Lance Archer, Max Caster, and the debuting Ethan Page. Having Ethan Page be the last entrant in this ladder match kind of caught me off guard. I really didn't expect him to be in this match. We hadn't seen him since he ultimately got killed by Karate Man. But it was nice seeing him in this match. The ladder match overall was pretty good. There was quite a few spots in there that was really, really dangerous, but looked pretty cool. Cody was selling his shoulder injury that he got earlier in the week. There was a Canadian destroyer that Penta did to Cody Rhodes on a ladder, and that looked disgusting. I know the destroyer is probably one of the most overused moves right now, but it still looks devastating on anybody. He hits it on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is hurting his shoulder. And then you have Cody and Arn Anderson walking to the back, talking to medical staff. And then they just sit in the entranceway for a good 5 minutes. Cody keeps coming back and forth. Really kind of distracted me. I thought he would, come back in the match and then ultimately win the match. But he didn't. I kind of wanted Lance Archer to hit the blackout on Cody off the top of the ladder, which would have been cool, but he didn't do it. But he did hit a blackout on Max Caster, I believe, onto a ladder. And then the ending of the match was they were on the ladder and they're going after, they called it a brass ring. It looks like a ring that you collect on Sonic the Hedgehog. It was massive. Scorpio Sky climbs the ladder, grabs the brass ring, and ends up winning the match, getting a future shot at the AEW TNT Championship this Wednesday. And then after that, we have the street fight with Darby Allin and Sting against Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. It was a cinematic match, which I'm all for cinematic matches. It adds a different element to wrestling. It kind of caught me off guard because they were doing commentary the whole time during this match, which with, cinematic matches, they really don't have commentary. But it was a good match. Darby Allin and Sting beat Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. And then after that, we have the main event of the night, which is Kenny Omega against Jon Moxley in the exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. Man, I've never seen a death match before or anything with barbed wire, so it was all new to me. And these spots that were hitting on the barbed wire was making me cringe the whole time. They were teasing some spots, like who was going to actually hit the barbed wire first. Moxley ends up hitting the barbed wire first, setting off the explosion. There was a spot where Moxley hits the paradigm shift on Kenny Omega onto the outside where barbed wire is, busting him open. And then they've got a barbed wire bat and barbed wire covered chair. It was just ridiculous. There was a bunch of spots that, like I said, made me cringe, and they were bleeding all over the ring. The match ends with the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, coming out there to help Kenny Omega. They bring out a exploding bat. There was a spot where Kenny Omega hits the one-winged angel, and it was probably going to be a 3 count, but Moxley uses his foot and hits the ring ropes, and the explosion goes off, stopping the count. And then Kenny Omega ultimately picks up the victory by hitting the one-winged angel on a chair, counting him 1, 2, 3. And then after that, the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega just keep beating up on Jon Moxley. The match ended with 5 minutes left before the explosion happened. They beat him up for about good 4 minutes, and then after that, the timer started going off with a minute left. They ultimately leave with 30 seconds left, leaving Moxley in the ring handcuffed, and then Eddie Kingston comes out there to make the save, trying to get him out of the ring before the ring explodes. And then with 10 seconds left, countdown goes down, and then the explosion is basically just a firework display with a dud ending. I kind of expected more from the explosion, but that it was just, like I said, fireworks. That was pretty much it. There was no big, huge explosion, ring shaking or anything. But Kingston basically put his body on top of Moxley so you didn't get hurt or anything. And they were teasing the whole night that the new person that they've signed had a Hall of Fame career and that they can outwork anybody. And to my surprise, I didn't think it would actually be this person. That's why I recorded my actual reaction to this. So I'm sorry about the poor quality. I recorded it on my phone and there's a glare in my glasses. And you could probably see my ceiling light, but I tried my best. But it caught me off guard, and that's why I recorded this. Wow. Huh. To my surprise, it was Captain Charisma Christian Cage. There was a lot of speculation on who would it be. There was Kurt Angle, Christian, and then CM Punk, which will never happen. But like I said, with Christian, it really caught me off guard because we had him just make his return at the Royal Rumble not even 2 months ago, and now he left WWE. I know he wasn't under contract with WWE, but he left WWE to go to AEW when his best friend is actually in a storyline to fight for a major title. I figured, he would have stayed with WWE to be a part of the storyline, but I'm kind of glad he's, trying to resurrect his career and do something else. That's the end of the review for AEW Revolution for me. If you did like my review and my quote-unquote reaction to Christian Cage making his return, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and a comment on the video, and subscribe for some more wrestling content. I do plan on doing more reviews like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.